What's going on, everyone? Jack's here, and today we have the Civic Type R. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is all functional.
All Hondas have that special something, that nagging feeling that all cars should feel the way they feel, drive the way they drive, and be just as reliable while doing so. The Type R is no exception. It's just more of everything that makes all Hondas great in the first place. It's Honda's eternal recipe, dialed up to 11.
The clutch and the shifter flatter you, operate with total ease, and they allow you to pilot a 306 horsepower missile without even thinking about it. I know a lot of journalists talk about saving the manuals, and with manual transmissions this good, I could see normal people that might never have driven a manual transmission before, be interested in getting a car with manual. We don't need to have a campaign if everybody makes transmissions like this. It reminds us that there is a mechanical interface between man and machine that no dual clutch could ever replicate. The power is exhilarating, and you can't help but feel as though every car should be this nimble and this quick. Somehow, the Type R makes having more than 300 horsepower in something like the size of a Civic completely normal, even acceptable in a civilized society. Like, it's perfectly normal and justifiable why you would need a car with the Type R's capabilities just to navigate rush hour traffic or a neighborhood. But the engine's called Earth Dreams. I think I would have called it something different myself. I would have called it something more like Boomstick.
This is my boomstick!
The interior is mammoth for the class, and the hatchback, while not being the prettiest Civic body, easily swallows all of your stuff, your kid stuff, the pool floats, the cooler, maybe even the dog, without breaking a sweat. And it'll get the groceries, and it'll stop off at Home Depot, and it will even take you to that embarrassing doctor appointment with Dr. Rosenberg, who insists that it's perfectly normal and it happens to all men from time to time, or every time. So the Type R stickers for $36,000, as you see it here, which is not out of the realm of a well-equipped small SUV. You know the one, it looks like a slowly melting hard-boiled egg, but it has a blacked out C-pillar to make it look like it has a floating roof, which is all of them. Floating roofs, by the way, are the automotive equivalent of late night Waffle House. Sounded good at the time, but you're probably gonna regret that decision later. Also, stop doing floating roofs, seriously. You're no better than the guy who goes to AutoZone to buy the stick-on front fender porthole vents to put on his Chrysler 300. And it's always a Chrysler 300. So if the Type R can carry 2/3, or in some cases more, of the people and gear that the small crossovers can carry, why would you want anything else? Why spend your money on anything else if this car can do it all? So if you're a dad and you haven't yet sunken into the midlife depression of watching C-SPAN, eating warm quinoa, and drinking LaCroix, then you owe it to yourself to get something that makes you feel special, even when dropping the kids off at school, taking them to their piano lessons, or maybe even jujitsu. I don't know, that's a thing. And you don't need a Lexus DX 5000H Hybrid Platinum Premium for that. And then of course there's what the Type R can actually do, like what it was made to do.
like its reason for existing in the first place.
Simply, this car rips. With 306 horsepower going to the front wheels, you'd think there'd be torque steer, and you'd be wrong. This car is planted and it tracks through the turns with almost nothing resembling understeer. It's spooky, it's spectacular, it's stupendous, it's many other words that start with S. Because it's turbocharged, there is a well of torque that takes you from corner to corner. And I know that there are some Type R fanboys who are upset that they don't have a naturally aspirated 9,000 RPM screamer. But to be honest, this car ejects you out of the turn. It throws you into the next turn. The turbocharged torque is amazing. It catapults you from apex to apex. You can feel the tires. You can feel the tires grabbing for traction, but it's not understeer, it's not torque steer. It's just simply the tires scrambling for traction. You can feel that through the steering wheel. It's a thrilling sensation, one that you don't get in most modern performance cars, much less a practical hatchback. The Brembo brakes are unbeatable. They bring you down faster than that popular girl who rejected you in high school. But don't worry, you got the last laugh. You got a Civic Type R. What did she get? A marriage to her high school sweetheart while he works on his bait and tackle shop? And she sells essential oils, posting things like, "Ask me how you can stop your chronic pain," or "I found my car keys, #blessed." The bespoke Continental tires, they're pleasant enough when the car is in comfort mode, but when you put it in Type R mode, those Continentals grip like Velcro. And they remind us that there are other companies out there than Michelin making amazing summer rubber. I know some people complain about rev matching systems on manual transmissions, but let's be honest, and you need to be honest with yourself. Do you know how to properly heel and toe? Because I bet 98% of you watching this video don't. The rev matching system is an enormous aid when you're driving fast. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys right now because that's how I am. I can't rev match very well. I have size 14 feet and I stink at it. I drive the Corvette infrequently, so I have not practiced it. This transmission helps, and it takes away one more thing that you're thinking about that's distracting you from what you really should be thinking about, which is how this car is handling. Also cyclists, but mostly how this car is handling. And these seats. I love these seats. These are easily the best seats that I have ever sat in any car that I have driven for an extended period of time. They are fantastic. I have scoliosis, true facts, and I am deeply convinced that these seats are actually improving my posture. I drove a long way to be here in the mountains and I feel great. You put this thing in comfort mode and you are perfectly happy in these seats. But unfortunately, you can't be fat and drive a Type R. I am not fat and they are incredibly tight. They hug you in ways that your uncomfortable uncle might appreciate, but they are not for the large. So think about that before you pick up a Type R. Here's the thing about the Type R when it comes to driving. Everything that matters to the driving experience is nearly perfect. And that's what makes the Type R special.
But the Type R makes you feel like a better driver, a safer driver. And isn't that the highest praise that you can give a car? Many people praise the McLaren 720S for making people feel better than they actually are behind the wheel. But what if you could have that same feeling in a car that you drive every day? So where does that leave us with the Type R? Surely it can't all be sunshines and unicorns, can it? Well, no. The interior is nice enough, but it's certainly not trying to be upmarket in the same way the Mazda 3 is. And the infotainment, while comprehensive, is a bit laggy and buggy at times. I wouldn't mind a more shouty exhaust either. Still, this is easily the best of the hot hatches when the total package is considered. As good or better than anything else in a straight line, the Civic Type R will leave just about any car in its class for dead on a mountain road. Long live the king.
And they're like, seriously? You just turned it on and off like it was nothing. You're like, blah, blah, blah. Then you're like, hello, welcome to Jack's channel.
The number of people who drive up and down this road with seemingly no sense of purpose.
What's up?
Okay, Peter McKinnon.
I know. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Jack's. I'm going to cut that out and send it to Peter McKinnon. It's a loner.
You on YouTube?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's y'all's name?
Jack's, JAX 1079.
1079?
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Thanks, man. All right.